Present.
Alderman Williams absent. Alderman Webster. Present. City Administrator Burbridge.
Present.
City Clerk Fuller.
Present.
City Attorney Weber is absent. Public Works Director Payne.
Present.
Chief of Police Chase.
Present.
Finance Director Stacey Ethan. I think that's all the other city staff that we have tonight. Next item up is the approval of tonight's agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
This time I will call for the vote. Alderman Kinsey.
Yes.
Alderman Webster.
Yes.
Alderman Wynn.
Yes.
Next item up is the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
This time I will call for the vote. Alderman Webster.
Yes.
Alderman Wynn.
Yes.
Alderman Kinsey.
Yes.
Tonight for public comment. So moving right along. For new and miscellaneous business, we have the lead line, or the lead service line inventory grant amendment.
Okay. Why? You can go ahead if you want. Or are we not reading? Okay. Apologies. This is not. There we go. Do you want me to talk about it?
Thank you, Stacy.
Good evening. So this is a grant that we currently have. It's the lead service line inventory. It's an ARPA grant. This is just to amend the project grant period from January 14th, 2026 to December 31st, 2026. And then it will have to be wrapped up by then to get all the ARPA projects submitted to the state. So anyway, this is just to amend that date.
All right. Open it up for questions from the board. Any?
No questions?
All right. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the signed attached amendment for the financial assistance agreement and general terms and conditions.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
There's no further discussion. I will call for the vote. Alderman Kinsey,
Yes.
Alderman Letchworth,
Yes.
and Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
All right, next item up, we've got two bids. We'll start with new patrol cars for the police department.
So for this year, we're set to replace 2 of our patrol vehicles. We'll have 2 that are going out, one that's an older one that's been used by the city for a little bit. We went through our same companies. There's only 2 companies in the state that provide state bid and meet the other qualifications. There's another one, I can't think of the term. So there was only 2 dealerships in Missouri. The next closest one is on the Kansas City, Kansas side, and the lowest bids we've got, and it's been the same, has been from Bellman. And so our recommendation is going to be that we continue to use Bellman for our patrol car purchases, unless somebody has any questions about any of it.
Yeah, we bought from them before, haven't we?
We have for the last
It's quite a
maybe
few.
8 years,
Yeah.
maybe longer than that. They're the only ones, they're the only real volume dealer in the state that still participates in the state bid program. I don't really know why that is, but because they move probably 400 or more cars a year to agencies and all that, so.
I believe Corwin Auto also out of Springfield is on that same, there's 3. I had to purchase a van.
Okay, well, so there's another part of that, and I can't remember what, there's another aspect to it. So there's state bid, but then it's like an acronym, stands for something, and it's a part of that process. And so our policy requires that we do the state bid plus that other, it's just escaping me right this second.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm drawing a
But
blank.
it's another
Chief.
part to that program, and I wasn't aware of Corwin being a state bid dealer. They didn't pop up on that list. So it's like CART or something like that. But it's that and the state bid combined is what we've been going with. But I'll definitely check them because the other place in Independence, their prices were about $2,000 per car hire.
I ran into that as well.
Yeah, so, I mean, so we do our due diligence to try and find the best deals we can.
We also carry, Chief, if I'm not mistaken, we also carry all of our light stuff and everything from our other vehicles, or try to transfer a lot of that over to the other.
The goal
Vehicle.
has been to buy equipment that is durable, kind of hardy, and we try and get 10 years out of our light bars, control boxes, radios, repeaters, like our trunking systems, all that, all the equipment we buy, we've been getting about 10 years out of. So so in theory, if you buy equipment new 1 year for a car, it will go through 2 cars before it's phased out. And usually technology is kind of pushing it out, but I mean, the majority of it still works. But I mean, you got to understand that it's working a lot of days out of the year. Radio goes on, it's on for minimum 10 hours a day. Radar's the same way, scanner's the same way. The terminals, data terminals in the car, same way. Everything that's on is on for 10 hours straight minimum.
Well, it's not a bad idea. I mean, especially catching criminals, so.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Makes a little,
There's
you know,
that.
makes a little, if it helps, yeah, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, so we try and be as fiscally responsible as we can and make sure that we get the most out of the equipment that we do purchase.
All right, well, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Any questions for Chief? Do I have a motion?
Thank you.
I move to approve the bids from Bellman Dodge for 2 2026 Dodge Durango Pursuit SUVs.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
There's no further discussion. I will call for the vote. Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Alderman Kinsey.
Yes.
And Alderman Letchworth.
Yes.
Next item up is new firearms for the police department. Joe, don't run off.
So currently, the department fields a SIG 320 firearm. And over the last few years, there have been some issues with sympathetic detonations. Gun goes off by itself as a claim that's not been validated independently. But we're running into issues like with the training academies and certain officer trainings that if you carry a 320, they won't allow you onto the range with it. And so we were forced with our last academy student to purchase another handgun standalone so that they would have a gun to go with. The ones we have are currently 8 years old and change, and they've been qualified with probably to the tune of 1,000 rounds a year. So they're pretty well used. That the safety issues that have become more prevalent, we opted to look at another program. So we met with representatives from Smith & Wesson, we met with representatives from Springfield Arms, and also met with Springfield and I think SIG. And what we came up with was an all-steel framed gun instead of just a steel top polymer bottom, which seems to produce a lot of the issues is anytime you mate the polymer and the steel. And so the guns we looked at from Smith & Wesson were an all-steel frame. We did tests in the field with the weapons, proficiency tests, basically torture tests, trying to get a misfire, trying to get a malfunction out of the weapon. And so what we came up with was the Smith & Wesson system seemed to work the best. The officers were more readily accurate with those pistols. And so it's not one of those things where if you decide to go with Smith & Wesson, you can be like, well, I'm going to go purchase in Kansas because it's cheaper. They assign dealers to regions of the United States. And so in that regard, the central U.S. Territory is who we bid through. And so it's not like open for competitive. It's just, that's who you get. And it'll cost you the same no matter where. It just costs you more to ship it if you bought it from the East Coast or West Coast.
So this is something probably they're switching out across, not just here, just across the state or maybe across
Nationwide.
Nationwide.
Yeah, there's been and the values of the guns have dropped tremendously. There are a lot of departments that are phasing them out because of the safety issues, the discharge issues.
That's not a bad thing, though. I mean,
No, and the new guns are, so far, are proven, and they don't have any of those same issues.
Okay. This time, does the board have any questions?
No.
All right. You might be okay now.
I think those are the two things I had.
All right, this time, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to move forward with the purchase of the handguns and trade-in of the current duty weapons.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
There's no further discussion. I will call for the vote. Alderman Kinsey.
Yes.
Alderman Letchworth.
Yes.
Alderman Dent.
Yes.
All right. Next up, we have reports. I'll keep mine brief and short. I just wanted to thank the city electric and water crews for still on the pole replacement. I mean, a lot of changes going on around town. It was kind of nice to see a lot of these older poles getting switched out. Appreciate the guys over there taking care of the main break over the weekend, especially during all this hot weather that we have out there. And appreciate the police department for the patrols over, especially at the city park and around town, the increased patrols that we have, trying to help a lot more on our public safety issues around here in Salem. So that's all I have for tonight. Next up would be Ms. Burbridge.
So you do all have a written report in your packet. I won't go over all the details. We did have a RAS pump go out at the sewer treatment plant. I don't know if you'll recall, last year we had to replace one completely, and that was in the ballpark of $32,000 to completely buy one. So this one is under warranty. They do plan to pull it, rebuild it, and so the emergency purchase was for a rental, one to lease in that interim, until we get this one back up and going.
So was it the one we purchased last year that got damaged?
No, it's the other one.
Okay.
At this point, though, I'm wondering if we need to just budget to replace one a year. I don't, yeah. And again, part of the concerns were with flooding that has happened around us, and that they were calling from some pretty bad storms last weekend, that if that hit and we were down to one pump, it would overflow the plant, so.
All right.
That's it.
Tammy, you got anything? All right. Stacy? Nothing for financial. All right. Steve, your turn to shine.
Good evening, Mayor, Alderman.
Evening.
Evening.
So it's been a bit, so I've got a little bit of a list here. The wastewater treatment plants, testing continues and the plant's healthy. The oxidation ditch, since the last time we talked, is now operational, and the oxygen levels are a lot better with the new rotors in there. So it's a huge improvement. So everybody's really happy out there with that. Josh Hunt put in his notice as lead man out the wastewater plant, so we will be putting that position out for interviews and see who we can net. Right now we have two plant operators that both have their A-level certification to cover the plant. So I've got Donnie Moore Jr. stepping up because he used to run the plant, so he's out there checking up on it daily and making sure the crew's good to go. So water service line repairs have been conducted, new sewer and water lines installed, and we did have the main break. Thank you for the kudos to the crew. I'll pass that along. Anytime there's a water main break like that, once it's reported to us through the appropriate channels or however we get it, our guys go out, assess, and then they have to enter the emergency locates. And that gives all of the locators 2 hours to get out there and actually get on scene and mark off stuff to make sure we don't dig up something we shouldn't. So the water's running at that time. We don't shut off a whole water main because we have a leak like that. Because if you shut off a water main, the pressure drops below 20 psi, then we would have to shut down and do a boil notice across the city. So we keep the line pressurized, and there is some water loss, and I know that doesn't look pretty at times, but I would much rather not have us out of water for a substantial amount of time till we clear up a boil notice. So. The hydrant contractors were out painting hydrants last week in an attempt to wrap that project up, but the rain, some weather set in and stopped them, so they'll be back to finish up 25 more. The new water tower has been filled, chlorinated, drained, refilled, tested, and test results will be sent to us tomorrow. So fingers crossed that goes well and the tower will be online. The well has been shocked with 10,000 gallons of chlorinated water and is currently being flushed out so that we can test it as well. Yeah, so we're hoping, I don't want to jinx it, but hopefully be online within 48 hours. As you can see, if you've been out near the industrial park, Viking has already started and their sandblasting project out there, and they're halfway down the tower already. So looking forward to seeing that getting stripped and painted. They will not be spraying that. They will actually roll that on. So there won't be any paint residue blowing around. I asked the contractor and he said if I sprayed it, he said it wouldn't be a 1 mile radius. He said you'd have paint for 3 miles that could carry in the breeze. So once the new tower's up and running, we'll drain down the industrial park tower and they'll start on the inside of that as well. So that tower, I think, has been out there since 1986.
Something like that,
And
84,
so-
86, yeah.
Yeah, DNR will be happy, we'll be happy, and new shiny tower. The lighting crew, they're putting the lighting package on the new water tower out by the airport, so that'll be lit up hopefully within a week. Also putting the lightning rod package on it. I was a little surprised that came so late in the setup, but that's how I think with those water tower crews, I think they have a hard time. They've got to fit everything in a schedule and follow kind of the weather patterns and stuff so they can get it in, get jobs done when they can. So just happy to have it. The electric crew, thank you for the kudos. The electric crew has replaced, they went ahead and did a count. They've replaced 60 poles since January, which is huge. More streetlights being replaced. As I've said before, if anybody has a streetlight out that's, having major problems, to contact the admin office and we can get those guys out to take care of it. They've worked to continue to keep the AMI system reading despite storms and summer foliage. We've got a plan moving forward. We're going to keep working at that bit by bit to get it up and as far ahead as possible and closer to no rereads. At this time, we're working on. We're just short manned, so we don't have we don't have extra crew members to run out. We lose Chris McGirt on Friday. Will be his last day. I asked him to come out to the next Alderman meeting so we could say a thank you for his service. So with him and Josh being out, we're low on crew members. So we'll do what we can. We'll keep the lights and the power on. And the water. Construction finished a large run of sidewalk at the Four Rivers facility that had been originally in the original plans. They'd taken out the old sidewalk because it was in shambles. So they replaced that. They finished a large concrete corner at the park. If you ever drove in into the entrance at the Armory, Dane County Health Center there, and you go down to the T-ball or the ball fields there, there was that rock retaining wall. It was a cinder block retaining wall, but then with all the rock there. The kids didn't only like to throw it in the road, they like to flush those down the toilets inside the public bathrooms. So we took that out, dropped it down, concreted that, and it's looks nice. So kudos to those guys. Replaced various missing pieces of sidewalks and curbs across citywide. Repaired a smashed window at the Armory. Apparently, if your kid's going out to do their driver's test and they pull forward too far and hit a handicap sign, it'll smash a window just perfectly. I don't know if you pass your test at that point or if it's just, I don't know. So, street department. The street department, this is important, just a reminder to the public. The reason for the driveway widening around the Armory wasn't just because, people were pulling forward on the west side and parking in the mud. It was to make that so that an ambulance could get through that area. So we widened it, put the curb in, and anytime you go over there, if you hit it right, the cars are all butted out and it's still a tight situation. Not to mention kids running from the cars across the parking lot. So that will become, on the west side, the far street side there will become parallel parking. So we extended the curb down to the point where we only lose 3 parking places. We'll paint off lines up on top of the road on the west side there where we put the stairs in, and we'll put parking lines
Park
up there.
Street.
So, and worst case scenario, 3 people are going to have to walk across the road from the parking lot across the street. But trust me when I say it'll make it safer for ambulances and getting in and out of there, and that's what's important. So,
You could probably use that back lot back there too.
yes, right. And I've been told that Sherry Lee told me that it's a Wild West over there when it comes to T-ball time, and people will park on the east side of the building up on the sidewalks. So I'm probably going to have my guys paint that off we have signs that say don't park here, but we'll just have to, we're going to work with the public. We want everybody to be able to park and get in close, but safety first.
Yeah.
So they patched asphalt digouts across the city, continued to maintain the yard waste lot, conducted a large-scale mowing and sweeping of the industrial park in preparation for aerial footage to document the certified site. So usually we don't mow that until the fall, and so they got out there and knocked that out, made it look as best they can so that prospective businesses, when they do look at our site, it'll be online and they can look at it from the aerial view and it'll look nice. So mowing continues citywide to include the airport and cemetery. Mechanic, once again, Brandon's doing a great job taking care of equipment citywide. They're really happy with him, as I've said before. Cemetery crew, they're out there still knocking it out, and that's what I've got. Do we have any questions this evening?
Anything.
Nope.
Okay, thank you for your time.
All right,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Steve. Moving right along to the board reports. Alderwoman Dent.
The community choir has partnered with pastors, ministers in the area to provide a community Thanksgiving service in November, and that will be held here. So there we go. That's it.
Alderman Letchworth.
No report tonight.
Alderman Kinsey.
Nothing to report.
All right, well, I think the only thing left is a motion to go into closed session for real estate.
I move that we go into closed session for real estate.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
This time I will call for the vote. Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Alderman Kinsey.
Yes.
And Alderman Letchworth.
Yes.
Thank you all for attending tonight.